Hello and welcome. I am the Suit&Tie Dip&ChewGuy, and this is the second string overview. This is a Nerf overview, most likely the second video of the Nerf playlist. So the second string is on the rack right now. By the way, the rack is something I built out of spare wood during a rain delay working outside. It's not supposed to look good. It's not supposed to be cool or neat or have any resale value. It was scrap wood I had, and I was tired of these things lying all over my house. So anyway, so this is the second string. This is blasters that are either sort of semi-retired, works in progress, or something I would use playing with my nephews, whatnot. It's sort of the non-primaries, the ones that I not at the moment pay a lot of attention to. So we will start at the top this time. So this is a motorized Nerf modulus, all right? It is running, I just bought this as the base unit. It is running with all worker attachments. The stock, the Magpul, and this are all add-ons I added on for aesthetics. However, this is not really being used at the moment. Why? This was bought, I bought the core bit for modification, for whenever I decide to dip my toes in the water of motorized blasters. This one, because of the housing, the size of the blaster itself, it's big. It gives me room, not having a lot of experience, to operate with, you know, if adding motors, rewiring, whatnot, there's plenty of room inside this. So right now, it's just firing at stock, which is Nerf brand levels. For those that do not know, a Nerf blaster, a Springer, if it's having a good day, will fire about 70 FPS. Their motorized blasters claim the same. In my experience, stock motorized Nerf blasters, if you're doing pretty good on any given day, it's about 65. You might get 70, you know, if you're lucky, but without doing anything to them, they're between 65 and 70. So this is a future project. It looks cool. I like that it's big. You know, I like that it's adult sized, and I like the idea of what is possible with it. But as is, nah. So this is, since my main focus modification wise isn't on motorized at the moment. Nothing wrong with motorized. I just, at the moment, I prefer pump action springers. This is sort of on the shelf as a future project. Whoa, moving down. This MP5-ish looking thing is the first blaster I ever modified, which wasn't too long ago. It is at its base, its core base, it is a modulus, again, Nerf brand Recon Mark II. Recon Mark IIs are basically, with some aesthetic differences like this hand guard here, they're retaliators. Which brings up an important point for future. If you are interested in modification of spring-powered blasters, if you have any Nerf Recon Mark IIs or Nerf retaliators, which I will borrow my nephews at some point and show you what exactly that is, in stock form, they are not anything overly. What's special about them is the the aspects when it comes to modification. The shells are what are important. In the last video, that Prophecy R that I showed you, the high-powered one, it's made by Worker, but basically it is a shell clone of a Nerf Retaliator, all right? Anything that was on that base center part of that Prophecy R could be put on a Nerf Retaliator. The housing, the shell of the Nerf Retaliator. So this, in stock form, was a Recon Mark II. It's got a Worker shoulder stock because it's adult sized, okay? I am running my usual short dart and adapter from Worker. It's got a Worker front finger grip, okay? It's what's inside it, though. In these reviews, some of these things, it's what's inside that's actually important. So what's inside this one is not Worker. What's inside this one is from Orange Mod Works, which I believe is out of Houston, Texas. It is a short dart breech with extended plunger tube or larger plunger tube. All right. It is metal. It's got an actual real barrel that, although plastic, is an actual fitting barrel. All right. So this fires short darts. They probably go at about, I'm going to say about 120 FPS. That said, I don't really use it too much anymore. Partly due, it's still because I wanted to keep it as short as possible. It is not pump. It's still top prime, which is, all right. So it didn't catch that time, so I'm not going to pull it. It's accurate. It fires short darts, and it was my first project. Okay. I'm not done with it yet, though. I'm not done with it. I'm thinking adjustable stock and a couple other things with it. Possibly a pull for the prime. But I'll never get rid of it. I'll never get rid of it because it's the first one I did. All right? So that is that. That's number 2. 3. It's my rocket launcher. Okay, so this is a Nerf Thunder Strike. Okay, it is discontinued. I saw this in packaging brand new on eBay, and I bought this a couple months ago because of basically one thing. Number one, most of the rocket, which is what these are right here, aspects for Nerf are usually mounted underneath a motorized blaster. This, however, I saw, and it's a standalone. But there's one aspect to this I was like, oh, I'm buying that. So you can fire it like this, like they show in the packaging. But if you notice, there's a curve to the stock. That's because, wait for it, so it's basically just a pump action. So you pump out, it sucks it down a little bit, and then bring it back. Now it has a handle, but I actually do it like this. It does have a top grip there, which is sort of funny. So it's just one of these jobs. Anyway, so yeah, that's my heavy weapons aspect covered. Moving on. This is a Zoro X-Shot. Zoro is not known for, there's not much good known about Zoro. I bought this because I thought it would basically be funny to own one. This is in its normal form. It does have another front section attachment, which makes it even longer. This red barrel thing here is something I added to improve accuracy. Did I put like $30 out on a barrel long enough? No, I didn't. I put a $1.77 out in a plumbing section of a Home Depot. That's where the barrel came from. It is interesting because it is modular, and besides Nerf, this is really the only thing. I mean, there are different things. There's a couple attachments. There's like some faux scopes. I think it comes with like 2 of them. I have taken this apart. I have stretched the spring. It runs with a harmonica magazine, which moves through the gun like this, like a harmonica. Dirty Pat Wash. All right. It's not overly accurate still with the barrel added. It is not, yeah, I wouldn't buy this. I mean, it's all right. It's cool for kids. My nephew, my 5-year-old nephew, loves this thing. He thinks this is the coolest thing with the legs and whatnot. It may fire at maybe 60 FPS, maybe. It's got this ridiculously large carry handle that also has like some sort of like attachment rail. I don't want to call it Picatinny, but it does come with some faux scopes. Another front section. It is pump. It actually sort of looks like it's shooting fast. The only thing that I did stretch the spring on this. The other thing about this is Zoro, it's the darts. Their darts are slightly shorter and have a different rounded head. They're lighter, okay? So they do fly pretty far. That was just another time. It has, this is the other thing. It has all these holders on the side. Like you can put another one of these mags like up in the back here. It's one of those deals like I had both racks out one day and my 5-year-old nephew came over and he was like, "What's that?" I'm like, that is Hong Kong's dirty little secret. That's what that is. So Zoro X-Shot. This is, I believe, the Regenerator. It does have a handle I really like. Now, I don't know if you can see that. That deep cut where you'd be putting, I do like that. It feels, to me, really good being thin up top here and getting wider towards the bottom. As you saw, it is a pump action. That is not, oh, okay, sorry. I had empties there. It's all right. It cost me, I think it was like 30 bucks on Amazon, something like that. I'd be interested in the future to see if like anybody makes something where you can upgrade it. So I'm keeping it all together, and although I sort of find it funny and it's a laugh, I wouldn't let anything happen to it type deal. Anyway, so that's the X-Shot. Now the next one is the one that I primarily use with my nephews for a number of reasons. This is the Villainator from Dart Zone, okay? This is what, if you were buying something for your kid, son, whatever, I would highly suggest this, all right? Being a fan of pump action springers, this is a pump action springer. This shoots pretty hard for a toy, all right? And although it's not overly accurate, and I'll show you why, it gets a kid into the pumping idea. It's a great starter for getting a young person into the idea of pumping between shots. It's also stand out because of the drum. It's double lined. It takes 40 darts, all right? Now, normally in a 40 dart drum, because there are a number of drum blasters, the drum would be much larger than this because there'd be a single line going around. This is double. Excuse me. It does, it's a brilliant system, but it does detract a little bit on accuracy, and that's what, because it has a faux barrel that can shoot high, low, all right? So it has a couple of mechanisms that catch the darts and tell whether it's up or low, and it rotates back and forth, okay? So it'll shoot one high, one low, one high, one low. Upsides of this for a kid, 40 dart. Okay, you give them that spectrum of the last video, they're pulling the trigger as fast as they can, and then you're watching the painful process of them trying to load a magazine. This, the pumping slows them down a little bit, and also they got, 40 rounds. Now, it is a bit tedious to reload this. That said, for a child, it's just front end loading. You're just literally putting them in the front. There is no magazine, there's no researching. For older people, if you were using this to play with kids, you can actually remove this drum, and they do on the Dart Zone website proper sell extra ones. Mind you, the extra ones are $15 and the blaster at Walmart is only $20. So it might make more sense just to buy a second blaster, really. But they do have that. You could, you load 2 of these up and you completely avoid having to reload. So this is running right alongside that spectrum of the last video at $19.99 plus tax, okay? It shoots pretty hard, and considering it has that goofy barrel, you're not even seeing, it shoots pretty hard, all right? But having hit my nephews with this in close quarters indoors, they can take it. They are 8 and 5 again. It's got the longer stock, although if you switch the stock out like I do, so to put it on my Spectrum, you can take the shorter stock, collapsible stock of the Spectrum and put it on this for a younger child. Again, it gets them into the idea of the pump action. It's $19.99 at Walmart. All right, you can buy it at walmart.com too. So walmart.com, $19.99. This is the one, this is going to get kids into the more, kids in general like Nerf guns, in my experience. But if you're trying to get one interested more, take a more serious interest, this is a good starting point, all right? As I said, the Regenerator is about somewhere between $25 and $30 on Amazon. This is out of production, but I got it on eBay for $27, something like that. You can find a Mark II Recon, the stock Nerf version, for about somewhere between $20 and $25 on Amazon still. Although I believe they are discontinued, they're still on Amazon. The rest of this it would go by. The stock is like 16 bucks. This clip and the adapter is 15 bucks. The core unit, which is why you would need this clip and the adapter, is about 50 to 70 bucks, what's inside. So this is one of those things, again, I don't, and that's why I'm not putting the store front with the Nerf yet, because I don't want people running out and buying stuff that they get back and are like, yeah, wait a minute, what do I do with this now? All right. And then this guy, again, all these parts, probably more than the core blaster itself. I got the core unit at walmart.com for, I think, $14. Okay? So that is the second string, and I think that is all the operable weapons I have in the, well, actually, they're not all that operable. Let me rephrase that. All the operable weapons that shoot darts, foam darts. That's all of them now. So part 1, I will link at the end here. This is part 2. The next one will be, I believe, an overview of the internals of a regular old Nerf gun. I am Suit&Tie, Dip&ChewGuy. Thank you for joining me. Do take care of yourselves. And as always, God bless. Stage left. Okay.